the NBA as I pull up the flyer. Please don't. Yeah, here we go. Post NBA trade deadline burning questions. Obviously, the deadline is over.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Okay, I'm still in my
Oh,
hip hop flow.
yeah, another
Okay,
one.
the deadline is over. All-Star weekend. Obviously, the playoffs is in April, so we still got a little time here. But now we still are searching for answers to questions that we have. So the question is, how about we give questions? Okay, Cuzzo, the biggest burning question that you have. The mic is
Oh,
yours.
but the biggest burning question that I have is Anthony Davis went down in one game. Was it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what just happened, bro? He went down in one game. That Dallas legitimately got to say, was that worth it? He went down in one game. Come on, bro. Like, you blew up your entire franchise. You took your franchise player in the heap of his prime, traded for the main piece. Forget about anything else around that. The main two pieces was Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic. Anthony Davis played one game and he's out for like weeks. I said, oh my God. I fell on the ground, bro. That's my burning question, bro. Really? Was it worth it?
A lot of pointless trades in the NBA. There's a couple. For me, Brandon Ingram is one of those pointless trades. He got traded to the Raptors, one of the biggest what ifs in basketball. Defensive liability, and it's funny because he actually has the length to be a good defensive wing, and he's not.
Absolutely.
He's more of a scorer, from pretty much all three levels on the floor, but mainly a mid-range shooter. You don't got nobody on that floor between RJ, Scotty, and Ingram that's a volume 3-point shooter. So the floor is going to be cramped. You need blue chip players. You traded one in Bruce Brown in that deal. I don't understand the logic by the Raptors. And it goes back to my point that I made last week. A lot of NBA teams don't know how to put a roster together. Okay, it's just the unfortunate reality. And going back to your point about Anthony Davis, when we talk about pointless trades, that's another one clearly. I understand what they was going for. If we want to buy the theory that it was just about basketball, let me preference. If we want to buy that theory, then maybe there's one reason I can understand it. You want to build this monstrous front court, okay, with Gafford, who got injured, by the way, and Lively and Anthony Davis, and you want to be defensive focused. I get it. But injury history, we didn't take that in consideration. You talked about, Luka, you don't like his conditioning, but guess what? The guy you traded for is going to be out after one half of basketball. And it was a good half. It was a good half. Don't get me wrong.
Half.
26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks. I thought that was the best debut on a new team.
Right. And then, man, I got one more, cousin, real quick. One more. What the heck is going on in Sacramento? Right? You get DeRozan in the offseason, then you trade. You get Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine and DeRozan, did that work out in Chicago?
Negative.
So why
they didn't even get out the playing game?
You fire your head coach. Like, there's so much going on in Sacramento, man. I just don't know, bro. I just don't know who's running this organization. And, like, are they a competent person to run an NBA organization?
Again, these teams don't know how to construct a roster together. I got one that I want to give. This is my biggest burning question of them all, really. And that is, will Jimmy Butler push the Warriors into championship contention? Because I think the way how things went down in Miami leading to his departure and the amount of games he missed this season, a lot of people forgot how good at basketball Jimmy Butler is, especially in the playoffs. And look, I understand the Warriors traded for him out of pure desperation. They wanted to trade for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant said, no way, Jose, I'm coming back to the Warriors. And they signed him to a 2-year, Jimmy Butler here, 2-year, $121 million extension, which seems like panic written all over it. But you look at these two games, and I got to watch the first game. I got to see the highlights of the second game last night, a little bit of the first game, a lot of the highlights in the second game. And you look at that, the two games, and you see the impact clearly, just the burden being lifted off of Steph Curry's back. The Warriors entered this game, not game, but this part of the season, I think in the 5 below when it comes to taking the fewest free throws per game. Butler has made thus far in 2 games an immediate impact in that department. making 23 out of 28 free throws in his
Wow.
first 2 games as a Warrior.
Wow.
Okay. And we always know that Jimmy Butler is going to float on the perimeter. He's going to set screens. He's going to cut. He's going to get the ball and do his thing in the mid-range. Not a three-point shooter, obviously, volume, but you got Steph Curry for that. So that spacing that Curry can provide is going to help either guy. I go back to that question. Yeah, I don't think the Warriors are going to win the NBA Finals because of this trade, but can he push them in contention?
Well,
You know?
I'm gonna go here, cousin. A motivated Jimmy Butler is a dangerous Jimmy Butler. Okay, and playoff Jimmy is legit. So when we say can they get pushed to the NBA Finals, right off rip, we're gonna say no. But I want to be clear about this. I want to be real clear. The 2 times he led the Miami Heat to the finals, I didn't pick Miami to go to the finals. Okay, he do things in the playoffs and crucial moments on the road that other players just don't do that got more talent than him. So that's a dangerous team in the playoffs, in my opinion.
I agree. One more point I want to make. The Suns.
Yo.
Will they regret? I mean, I don't think that's a question. I know the answer to that, but I
There
guess
you go.
for the topic's sake, will they regret not trading Kevin Durant at the deadline? I guess you put that in there. Look, I don't know what the Suns are doing. Once again, teams in the NBA don't know how to put a team together. You have one of the most expensive teams, second apron team, I believe, and you're not even a top 5, 6 seed in the Western Conference. You're struggling to be in the play-in right now. You're in the play-in right now, and you're a second apron team. To me, that's a waste of finances right there.
Right.
Okay. Kevin Durant, I understand he didn't want to go to the Warriors. I get it, but you got to get rid of Kevin Durant because now that you had him dangling, in trade rumors and all that, now he might leave because I believe that he's gonna be a free agent after the season. So he could leave. Bradley Bill, why did you even make that trade to begin with? Clearly got a no trade clause. So he can only go if he wants to go.
Right.
I don't understand what the Suns are doing as a basketball team. And I guess that would be the question for me. Will they regret not trading Kevin Durant at the deadline? I think Miami was interested,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Listen, man. Kevin Durant, as great as a talented basketball player that he is, he's so talented and gifted and in a whole host of ways that he could affect basketball on the basketball court. But his intangibles as a leader, his intangibles to take a team to the next level, it's always glaring. It's no mistake why Kevin Durant haven't gotten out of the second round since he left Golden State, because he needs a leader. He's just ultra talented, but he needs a leader, bro. I'm sorry. And that's why they needed to trade him, because if you're expecting Kevin Durant to lead y'all somewhere, all he's going to do is lead you to a second round exit. That's the best he can do.
And what do you think about him not wanting to go back to the Warriors? Because I think it's just not smart, intelligent basketball.
Well,
As far as your mindset, not wanting to go to a place where, it's so easy for him to play basketball. All he has to do is show up to work.
Yep.
Doesn't have to worry about anything carrying the offensive load. Obviously, Steph Curry's there. Obviously, they had success. He knows what it is to win in that locker room. What do you think about that? Decision not to go there.
Right. Let me hit you with that. So with Kevin Durant, it's like this. He was in a lose-lose going back to Golden State. He go to Golden State and they win. That's what everybody said the narrative is going to be. Well, you can't win without Steph Curry, and it's clear as day. And he hates that narrative that lingers over his head right now. He's been trying to escape that narrative since he ran Brooklyn. Okay, he's been trying to escape that narrative. I can win without Steph Curry. But if he goes there and he don't win, it'd be the same thing. It'd be like, well, you got Kevin Durant and you still can't win. You know what I mean? So it was a lose-lose. He's trying to get that mystique off his head that I can win without Steph Curry. But he don't recognize that one thing that he's going to need is a leader. And when he was in Brooklyn with James Harden and Kyrie, and I know they was really close to going to the second round. You could blame some injuries or what have you. They was playing against the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. And the Bucks won the championship that year. And they went to Game 7 and all these things. That was the best Kevin Durant ever led. Because to be fair and to be true, when they was on OKC, the leader of the team was Russell Westbrook. Okay? He was just the best player. People don't recognize that. They don't want to say that all the time. So when they went to the finals, when they went to the Western Conference Finals, that was Russ leading the team. The best player was Kevin Durant. If he don't have a leader, he goes nowhere. Sorry.
I'm trying to figure out the logic here because I understand your point. They don't want to make it seem, he doesn't want to make it seem that he needed to step to win the championship, but that's obvious.
That's obvious.
That's not going away. And that's why you call it lose-lose. But why not win? You know, because when you look at it, the Warriors are making that trade out of desperation because they need KD as well.
Absolutely.
To me, I don't look at that as KD needing the Warriors. Clearly, they won a championship without him both times. Before he came and after he came, they already cemented their legacy. Curry did, obviously, on that team. But I am a person that lived through this time, so I know what the Warriors' struggles are. I know that they need help for Curry, and clearly they're desperate. They wasn't going nowhere without making a trade. They're probably still not going nowhere, even with this Jimmy Butler trade. I understand the desperation of wanting to bring in Kevin Durant. So I could say, okay, well, yeah, Kevin Durant couldn't win without Steph, but right now the Warriors are not going to win without KD. So I can understand the mutual interest. If there was, clearly it's not, because Kevin Durant didn't want to go there. And I just don't understand that, because with Kevin Durant and what Kevin Durant fails at is overall being a team player. The NBA has become so individualized with careers, and that was stemming from LeBron James and his decision to bail on his team and go play with Wade and his friends and then leave the Heat when the Heat was getting old, and Chris Bosh had blood clots and everything, and he went to LA, and then all this movement.
Even though Kevin Durant, with a fragile psyche, didn't, in my opinion, didn't want to go back to Golden State from that perspective. But to me, if he went back to Golden State and they won, it might have saved him more than he recognized. I agree with that. Winning always help you. Like if he'd have went there and they just started winning, it was like it's a perfect match, and they winning, they win a title. It's like, but who cares though? At the end of the day, he's winning titles. Because right now, the reason why people rank Kevin Durant so high is because of what he didn't go to State. It ain't for nothing else. So the reason why you are Kevin Durant,
and people who argue that LeBron James is the GOAT, which I disagree with, is going to say he has this amount of rings and he won in different areas, but we're going to overlook that he went to play with D Wade.
We're going to overlook all of that stuff. Cousin, to be fair, we overlook it with Kevin Durant. People hold Kevin Durant in high regards. It's not because what he did in OKC. It's not because what he did in Brooklyn, and it's not because we did one in Phoenix. It's what he did to Golden State. That's the reason why we hold Kevin Durant in high regards.
Yep, I agree with that.